Welcome to another Meraki Monday. I'm Dan Stewart, an engineer at Ingram Micro, and with me again is Bobby Young. Today we're going to take a look at the MR wireless and the differences between some of the license options. Mainly, why do they have an advanced license? We were doing some research, and when looking at the options, I've done some things with the adaptive policy piece, but Umbrella was something that came up as a feature of the advanced license, and that was interesting. We did a little bit of research, and our research led the idea to, hey, if we had to find out more information, we want to share that with you guys as well. So the first thing that caught my eye when looking at why the advanced license would be a great option for my deployments would be Umbrella and some predefined features. So before we uncover what those features are, question, Bobby, what actually is Umbrella?
Yeah, great question. Umbrella is the protection from the elements, and this element basically being any DNS attack. So, DNS, if you're not familiar with it, is basically kind of the foundation of how we see websites, right? So, a website that would be cisco.com, you would type in cisco.com into your browser. It gets sent out to a DNS server. That DNS server basically says, okay, well, cisco.com, when this person types cisco.com, they actually mean this address. So 72.163.4.161. I kind of date myself a little bit, but it's kind of like if you looked up somebody's name in the white paper or the white pages, it would come back with their phone number or their address. More appropriately, if you were looking for a good pizza place and you went to Google Maps, you would type in, the name of the place, and then it would tell you the address that that place is. So the issue is that when a DNS attack happens, there's a couple different types. One of them is basically kind of a redirect. So instead of going to that DNS server with that list of, google.com equals this that you trust, it can actually redirect you to somewhere else. So, like if you were looking for a pizza place, right, and it gives you like the wrong address, then you go to the wrong address, and you get mugged and somebody steals your money. But in this case, all that's digital. So you're going to a site that is not secure at that point instead of the Google.com that you trust. Sometimes it actually even looks like the same page. So imagine you go to Facebook.com and what you think is Facebook actually sends you to another page that's on the dark web or looks like Facebook.com. The first thing it asks you is to log in. So on this random website, you're sitting there typing in your username and your password, and then it logs that username and password, puts it in a nice little, list somewhere, and then they can sell that list to other hackers and people that want to steal your information. So basically, what Umbrella does is it redirects from that DNS server over to Umbrella servers. And on Umbrella servers, they have a giant list, just like you would on DNS. But at the same time, they're taking that list and they're saying yes or no on that traffic. So you could have a policy that says, "Hey, I want to block all known malware sites." And when it pings out to the DNS server, if it's on that list as a malware site, it's just not even going to pass the traffic at all. It's going to give you just a blocked page. That's without any firewalls, without anything in between you and that traffic.
Yeah, I like your analogy there about, not getting mugged, but I guess the real world example of you're getting something on the streets is kind of akin to what ransomware would be in the digital age, right? So you're still getting something taken from you or blocked or ransomed. So we definitely don't want that to happen. So if we can do that from a digital front, DNS would be one of the layers of security, and in this case, something that is we can find native into your Meraki MR platform. So what is needed to leverage this advanced license option within your Meraki access points? You need to have one of the later firmware, so 26.x or later. Actually have the advanced license on your access points. Either it's a new purchase where you just buy the advanced license as new with your access points or from a renewal standpoint, or midterm, you can upgrade from the enterprise license to the advanced to get into that direction. And then important to note that once you do make that decision to go to the advanced license option within the MR platform, you are required to move to the per device license model within your organization away from the more traditional coterminous design that Meraki's had forever. So the per device license is not new. It's just something that's a requirement when adding the advanced feature into your organization license structure. So be aware of that. So what are, the policies that are introduced for this advanced feature set? And those that might be familiar with Umbrella, traditionally it's seen and is a separate licensed feature with the separately accessed Umbrella dashboard. That's what we've really talked about Umbrella for, and that can still be done with the Meraki environment if you want to make that investment and go outside of Meraki's dashboard and leverage the capabilities of Umbrella additionally into Meraki. But the power of this advanced license is saying, hey, instead of needing to buy additional Umbrella licenses, instead of needing to go to a separate Umbrella dashboard, we'll bring that right into the Meraki interface. And we'll make this, Meraki simple, where we go in and we'll show this in the demo, how to enable and then select which feature set is most appropriate for the different wireless broadcast SSIDs you may have at your disposal. So there are 7 predefined umbrella policies. So it's still using umbrella, but you don't have the applicability of customizing these policies. You just pick which one is most right for your environment or your design. There is the section of just appropriate filtering of basic, moderate, or full, and the list obviously would get bigger as you add more and more filtering elements. And then you kind of look at where some of the use cases for those filtering categories. The basic might be for a school use, the more moderate or bigger list might be for a guest, and the most robust list would be there for a corporate deployment as just some recommendations or some guidance we've seen from Meraki documentation of some use cases that could be provided. In addition to that, you have the option to add security and the filtering elements from a predefined set, again, rounding out the numbers 4 through 7 of your selectable options. Those security features you see there are malware, the CNC or command and control callbacks, phishing attacks, and crypto mining are applied in addition to the filtering components. We found the list from Meraki's documentation that actually showed what those filtering elements do include. And that's something we'll make sure is shared with this video as well. But we can look at the basic list. Obviously, it's minimal for what it provides. Moderate gives you more functionality or more filtering capabilities. And then the full list will just obviously expand on top of that with these categories that your networks will then reach out to Umbrella, apply these filtering mechanisms, and then your users will be blocked or allowed based on these categorizations and sites that reside from within them. So let's take a look at how that actually operates in the Meraki dashboard.
As you get that set up,
Yeah,
one of the things when we started looking into this, again, as Dan said, it started as one of those you know standard questions you get where someone says, hey, is this and this, and you kind of think you know the answer, and then you start kind of checking yourself and realize that you don't know the answer as well as you did. So to be truthful, it's something that we actually learned a lot about. And again, the whole reason we're putting this together is just to in the understanding that there really wasn't one place that we saw all of this information. So hopefully we can kind of make this a little bit more concise. We also realized that the advanced license is almost going to be the standard from my perspective that I tell people about when talking about those 2 licenses that are available on the wireless side. So just the fact that even if you do no blocking at all, but just utilize those security features to block all the malware sites and phishing sites and anything that is harmful to your network, that by itself is just reason enough to be able to talk to your end users about either upgrading it at the end of their renewal period, or doing a kind of a mid-renewal upgrade using those upgrade licenses as well. There are also kind of like 1 day licenses that you can get to, so you can kind of true everything up to a certain date if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's a big portion of it. So, as we investigate these topics as they come to us, we like to share that information and pass that along because that's important to understand what's out there and what you're getting with those license options. So, the great thing is in this environment that you see here, we have one access point with the advanced license. And just to be clear, this environment is not connected to an Umbrella dashboard account. So we did not do the manual integration. I did not bring Umbrella into the connection to my dashboard via APIs or any other setups. This is the automatic capabilities that once you have the advanced license and you go to your wireless settings under firewall and traffic shaping, you'll see the ability for this category to pop up of blocking applications, content, and categories with this big button to enable umbrella protection. Bobby, what do you think is going to happen when I click that button?
Hopefully, it's going to enable the umbrella protection on your network.
Let's take a look. Okay, linking an umbrella account, fetching umbrella policies, and that's it. So with my advanced license, it enabled that connection to umbrella. And then I get to see which policy I want to apply of the 7 that were available in what we showed prior. We can do
And this is
ones with security and without security and be understanding of which one you want to use in your design. Yes, Bobby.
I was just going to say it definitely is much more simple than the traditional way we saw Umbrella being, aligned with Meraki, where it would kind of create that API connection between the two. But then, like you said, you start having the kind of one throat to choke or single pane, pane of glass management. You start having that break down a little bit when you say, hey, Meraki single pane of glass management, you can manage everything from here. Oh, and if you want to add Umbrella, then there's this other dashboard that you kind of have to, another pane of glass that you have to manage as well. More robust, like you said, more options, in very, very similar to the conversation we have about traditional Cisco and Catalyst versus Meraki in general, right? So, hey, this one's more robust. You can do more with it. You can really, twist the knobs and tinker with it and really get granular with it. But if you just need, you know, basic setup, drop down menus, and probably what 80% of your customers need, there's Meraki. This umbrella conversation, same way. If you need that more robust umbrella, being able to tinker things, there's the umbrella API that you can attach with umbrella licenses for, again, probably 80% of the Meraki clients out there. There's this option that lets you just do those 7 drop down menus, and you can whitelist them too. There's a way to do that, but we're not going to get into it today.
Yeah, and that single pane of glass is important, right? So it's the easy button, a literal button to enable Umbrella, select the policy, save it on that setting, and it's on a per SSID basis as well. So I have the one here that was labeled. If I had a guest one, I had another corporate one, an IoT one, you name it, you can go in and apply the policies that are relevant to each wireless network that you want to deploy. And then the security center found under the organization security center section, this will give you that visibility single pane of glass approach with your MR DNS events. If we click on that tab, we just enable it. So there's probably not gonna be a lot going on. And thankfully there's no DNS events that have been blocked or found as malicious that can be reported right from the Meraki dashboard. So the back end, sure, is Umbrella. The front end, where you're managing your solution with that advanced license, with your access points, is all done from the Meraki dashboard as that full visibility, easy button, simple IT approach, which is, I think, very valuable to, like Bobby said, start making the advanced license as the starting point for your Meraki MR discussions, showing off these features. And then as more and more capabilities continue to be added, like the adaptive policy piece, like other integrations you'll find, will be found under the advanced license. This is just one of those key ones that I think really deserves its spotlight, and hopefully we've kind of shown that here.
And as always, if you have any questions on this specifically, or if you wanted to showcase this to your end user and don't necessarily maybe have it, we did notice that there's not really a good dcloud demo on this or something that's readily available. So if you'd like to have some help with that, please just give us a call or reach out to the BTC, and we'll be able to assist with you whenever you need it.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.